Good evening. We present the news summary. 3 judges have begun hearing an appeal by VJ Construction against an order to pay 20 million euros compensation to Savoy Resorts owner. VJ's lawyer, Bernard Georges, called an international treaty's power to enforce the ruling mechanistic. The case stems from a breach of contract dispute with Eastern European Engineering Limited dating back nearly a decade.
Vijay Patel, the eponymous founder of the construction company at the centre of a €20 million lawsuit, was today in court for the first time in this long-running case. The company's lawyer, Bernard Georges, was challenging an order made in June arising from the construction of Savoy Resort in 2011. The hotel group's owner, Eastern European Engineering, had inserted arbitration clauses in the construction contracts, which were later broken. Courts overseas then ruled Vijay should pay. In a submission lasting more than 3 hours, Mr. Georges set out technical legal arguments why he said the award should not be made. He said that it flowed from a ruling in a British court that was not enforceable here, and that an international treaty on arbitration, which Seychelles had ratified but had not yet come into force, could not be used to enforce the award.
It came after the event, and in any event, in my argument, it's not retrospective. And secondly, that enforcement of a foreign enforcing judgment and not a first judgment is problematical and is not automatic.
This afternoon, EEEL's team had their turn. Their lawyer, Alexandra Madeleine, argued that the New York Convention, though perhaps not in force, had been a live issue nonetheless. Disregarding it, she said, would be a legal anomaly. In all, Appeal Court President Justice Anthony Fernando, sitting with Justices Matilda Toomey and Wagile Dingake, spent nearly 7 hours hearing both sides. Neither commented as they left the hearing. Judgment is expected on Friday, October the 2nd.
PUC says that so far they have replaced 75% of their water pipes made from asbestos material. These pipes have been in the water distribution system since colonial times. The ongoing project is expected to improve the distribution system by having new pipes with more capacity that will cater for the increasing demand for water. PUC says that it has to secure finance to replace the remaining 30 kilometers of pipes around Mahé. President Danifort has signed 2 commencement notices for the commencement of the Elections Act 2020 and the Political Parties Act 2020. Just a reminder that nomination date for candidates who will be taking part in the presidential election is the 16th of September from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the election headquarters at Sakos Tower. Candidates need to deposit a sum of 15,000 rupees and proof of endorsement from 500 registered voters. Nomination date for candidates wishing to take part in the National Assembly election is the 18th of September from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Candidates need to pay a sum of 1,500 rupees and proof of endorsement from 50 registered voters in the electoral area the candidate is contesting. The Office of the President has announced the appointment of Captain Joacin Valmont as the new Chief Executive Officer of the Seychelles Maritime Safety Authority and Brigitte Ciseaux as Deputy Chief Executive Officer with effect from the 1st of September 2020. This follows the recommendation of the SMSA Board and is in accordance with Sections 8 and 9 of the new SMSA Act 2019. Captain Valmont has been overseeing all matters relating to the maritime safety under the new Act prior to his new appointment, and he has been working with the Seychelles Maritime Safety since 2011. Ms. Brigitte Ciseaux has been working with the Seychelles Maritime Safety since August 2015. The number of positive COVID-19 cases in the country remains 9, and they are all crew members on board a fishing vessel. During the health press conference this afternoon, the Public Health Commissioner, Dr. Jude Gédéon, said that the regulation for mandatory wearing of face masks in public and workplaces is expected to be ready by next week. Dr. Gédéon also announced the implementation of transit hotels and stay-safe hotels to accommodate tourists who come from countries of high risks. Air Seychelles has announced that the airline will operate a special flight from Seychelles to Mauritius on Tuesday, 8 September. It will provide Mauritian citizens the opportunity to return to their homes. Any Seychellois citizens or GOP holders in Mauritius wishing to return to Seychelles may also travel on the returning flight from Mauritius to Seychelles. This is subject to immigration approvals and meeting all health requirements as recommended by the Mauritian government. Travelers will need to demonstrate proof of valid negative RT-PCR test conducted maximum 4 days prior to their flight. They will also have to agree to undergo the mandatory quarantine upon arrival in Mauritius. This was a news summary. Thank you for your attention.